Welcome to HDTV. You're now rocking with your boy. So sorry I'm late. I created this series because I am late to watching TV shows, movies, because I work too much. And there's other things going on. The playoffs are going on, and then life, everything. That's how it goes. Now, here's the thing. This is actually this is actually the first time that I've actually said, you know what? I kind of like the direction. Like, listen, I did not know what to expect. I went to watch I watched Sonic the Hedgehog, the first one, and then I saw the second one. And to me, the first one, was awesome. Like how they brought him in, how he was a kid, and basically the owl lady basically was telling him, look, you gotta be safe, you gotta watch what you're doing, you gotta make sure you're doing okay, you gotta protect yourself. And I'm glad they did great. I mean, the first one was awesome. Like everything, you had your cheesiness, your cheesy stuff. But it is what it is. That's a part of the kids and everything. And plus, the thing that I loved about the beginning was that he basically was in hiding. He was watching everybody from afar. He was watching everybody from afar, and he was, just trying to he was just relaxing. He wasn't trying to he wasn't trying to how do I say? He wasn't really trying to do too much. Like he was trying to stay hidden. He was listening. You know, he was listening to his basically like his mom. you know, he was listening to his mom as it was an owl. And what we figure out is the owl basically gives him these rings and tells him, here's a map if ever he gets compromised or he's in trouble, to use the rings to get to another planet or another place. Which I loved. That's the thing I loved about it. That was interesting. Then he went on this journey, and then Robotnik was called in from Robotnik was called in to basically be the guy to track him down and to bring him in. You know, bring him in and see what they could learn from him. But along the way, he tore a piece of his hair off of him, and he used that to energize his machines and to be able to keep up with Sonic using his DNA. So wherever Sonic was trying to go, Sonic really couldn't make it that far because he was there. So, and of course, we seen that he ran into a guy. He ran into a guy who's a sheriff who basically just wants to leave, wants to actually experience, life, want experience life outside of what's going on, like which was played by James Marsden, which was Tom. Tom and his wife, which we have a interracial couple, which is something new, you know. So we got an interracial couple, and basically he wants to go to San Fran. His girl, who I remember from Deliver Us from Eva, she was in that. So so basically she went up there to see how it was because he got accepted into the police academy there, the police force, excuse me, there. Which isn't gonna be hard. I mean, he's white, and then that's San Francisco, so really, that's really not going to mess him up. He'll be able to get a job in no time. You had Robotnik coming up with a plan. You had his sidekick with him. They were the comedy relief. You know, so really not even worried about stuff. Tom basically plays by James Marsden. Then you had Tika Sumpter, who's played by Maddie, who's his girl, and then of course her sister Rachel. She basically doesn't like Tom at all, and basically Tom needed to help Sonic because he saw Sonic and he shot him with a tranquilizer. That's when Sonic lost the rings and they fell on top of the building. And once he did this, they were on a road trip. You got to see all the fast paced things and how they went at it. And you saw Sonic at the end, finally grasp his powers and was able to control it as he took out Robotnik. Now, in part two, if you saw the ending of part one, you basically saw Tails, who basically, Tails, if you played the video games, Tails is the sidekick, very intelligent, and it was great. It was great to see Tails come at the end. That was a great surprise. And then, of course, seeing Sonic send Robotnik to the Mushroom Planet, which was, hilarious. But, things happened. It happened. And, now we're here, you know. So basically, Robotnik figured out a plan to. The reason Tails found Sonic was, if you remember, Sonic was on the baseball diamond, and Sonic basically was just frustrated. He's a kid. You got to remember, he's a kid. So if you're watching this, you can't think of Sonic as an adult. He's never was an adult. If you watch the old cartoon series, by the way, back in the day, if you watch the cartoon series, you'll see that the movie, the show was awesome. You got to see Sonic. Sonic, was on his own, had a friend, which was the kid, and then that's where his story began. Then you had Tails come out of nowhere to be with him, and then you had Knuckles, then you had Sonic's girlfriend, and then you had Shadow. Now you basically watch this and everything. Tails found him because of that huge electromagnetic pulse that just shot out through space, where Tails was able to find him. Once Tails was able to find him and everything, it was interesting because Tails knew what he had to do. He had to find him. If Tails didn't find him, they were in trouble. And he found him because he already knew that Knuckles would be after him. So that was great how they did it and everything, how they set it up. Tails, of course, being the geeky genius, and having two tails, and then Knuckles. The surprise was seeing Knuckles, how he just came in the beginning and just took the whole movie over. Knuckles was my favorite character on the game. Knuckles was my favorite character in the whole Sonic thing. Like, Sonic was cool, but Knuckles was just, because I'm a guy who love to fight, love to throw hands. So if you love to throw hands and box, give your hooks, your jabs, slip the punches, get underneath, keep your chin down, that's your guy. Knuckles was your guy. I ain't care what anybody say. You was rolling with Knuckles. Sonic was the fan favorite because he was blue, cuddly. I ain't like Sonic. I liked the Knuckles. Knuckles came in there, knocking people out. That's what I want to see. Knuckles coming in there and saying, I am here to honor my family. I am representing the whatever clan. Which was which was neat. Cause some people would be like, man, this is kind of boring or whatever. I'm like, no, this was actually great. Knuckles came in perfectly. That's the one thing I loved about it when Knuckles came in. Knuckles killed it. When Knuckles came in, he just took it over. And that's what I was expecting. Knuckles, Knuckles, he was that guy. Trying to remember what tribe he from. Play Knuckles, which I enjoyed. Um, you got to see Knuckles run in there and then just knock Sonic out, which I'm glad they did the depiction of how they did it, because that's how Knuckles was, and Sonic never beat Knuckles. And I'm glad they didn't do anything to try to mess that up and make it like, oh well, Knuckles the Echidna, excuse me, the Echidna family, and that's who we grew up loving. We love Knuckles. I don't know what my brothers and them love, but I love Knuckles. Knuckles was mean, got attitude just like me, honorable, will die for the cause if you got to. And that's the one thing that I love. That's the thing that I love, And I'm glad, we were able to get a great movie that wasn't cheesy. We got to see Tails and Sonic, and we got to see the owl, the lady who basically raised him like his mother, and showed him that he must, that he was brought into this war between the owls and the echidna, where the owls beat the echidna and they were able to move the emerald somewhere. And this is what I love about it. They stuck to the game. See, a lot of times when movies try to depict the video game, they mess it up. They mess it up. They always mess it up. And it's like, man, are you serious? Why? It's like, why? Why are you messing it up? And see, usually that's what they do, but thank you that thank you that we finally got everything together. So, it was great. It was great to see a movie. Then at the end, we got to see Super Sonic. Remember Knuckles and Sonic started off as enemies, then they became friends. All of that's true. How the cartoon was. And then we finally got to see Knuckles, come together and everything with Tails and Sonic. And it was funny at first because Knuckles just did his own plan. Sonic was trying to help, but him and Tails and them, Sonic finally realized like this always happens. Sonic always came up with the plan, even though it wasn't a real plan, but he came up with a plan. So once he did that, he was able to defeat them and destroy the machines and everything. Once they destroyed the machine and all that, Robotnik was left there, and then all of a sudden the the one guy, the general guy, you know, he basically they found out that Shadow is here. So now we're gonna get Shadow in part 3. But the first movie, I give 3 stars. I give it no, I give it 3.5 stars, and this last one I give 4 stars out of 4, 3.5 out of 4 for the first one. Loved it. Sorry that I'm late, series. I apologize. I didn't see it on time, but I love both films. Both films are great, and please make sure you take your kids to see it, or if you want to watch it, you can watch it. It's very an exciting film. I'm finna get back to watching my films. I gotta watch Shang-Chi again. I gotta watch that, then the Eternals, then I gotta watch Matrix Revolution. So I got a full plate today. So thank you guys for listening. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share this, hit the notification bell to select all to receive upcoming notifications. And if y'all love what y'all hear, go to the description box, hit that link in the Cash App. You could donate whatever your heart's desire. You guys can also super chat while the video's live or premiered, and you guys can super thanks as well. Thank you guys, man, for listening. We out. Deezy.